gentlemen, welcome back. We're on episode 5. I got a guy here, big as all hell. He's a professional bodybuilder. This is the first professional athlete we've had on. I'm so glad you could come. Someone I follow on Instagram at IFBB Pro, Ben White. Thank you for coming, man.
Thank you for having me.
Here, you just keep that close to you. Keep it about a fist away from your face.
Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. I've been following you for I've known about you for probably like 5 or 6 years now, and I've just started following your journey back to the stage. I know when you posted it was Classic. We're aiming to go to Classic, and now you're looking at the 212 division for the Tampa Pro. So why don't you tell everyone about yourself?
If you don't know who I am, I'm Ben White, the showstopper. Basically, what had happened was taking time off, and then when I hurt myself, my leg injury, things in life happens for a reason, and I had to step back for a while and actually get myself together. And with the time off and everything else that I had, I decided that the 212s or classic physique would be something feasible for me at my age and everything else, because I didn't feel like putting all that weight on and doing all the other stuff that I had to do to actually compete as an open bodybuilder.
Right.
So with that being said, I got on it and started working at it, but realized that I seen Classic when I was born, I think, but I was never getting down to 197. And as I tried to, 212s looked better and better and better, right. And here I am now, just 12 pounds away from the 212s and 7 weeks out.
7 weeks out. Yeah, it's crazy to, like, when you started, I just, like, you look like, I don't know, your genetics are crazy. You look like you were, like, 5 or 7 weeks out, like, if you really just dried out, and then you just started just densing down. Because I looked at it, and when you kept saying 196, I'm like, that is a shit ton of weight. This guy is peeled as fuck already.
Right,
I didn't know how much you could still lose.
Right, but you got to also realize that, I mean, I got up to 311 at one point.
Jesus.
And then on stage, I was about 250, 255, but really not in condition like I am now. I mean, I got in my head that big was everything. Mm-hmm. And the bigger I was, no matter the sacrifice of my condition, it was better. But lo and behold, smaller is better for me and condition and size.
Right.
So that's like the difference.
That's the difference, yeah. Because, I mean, you look at some of, like, the 212 division, I think, is, like, it's pretty stacked. I mean, you had Flex Lewis, who's now moving up, right, into open bodybuilding, and he was 7-time 212 Olympia, and he had crazy training philosophy, and I think he was so big and then dense down. I was like, I didn't understand it. Derek Lungsford, another guy who I think great competitor, and then yourself, because I think everyone else is a little just too bloated, like Ahmad Ashkenani. I think, and this is just my opinion, when you look at the guys who come over from the Kuwait, like the Big Rammies and Ahmad Ashkenani, they just seem a little too bloated, and you're just like so much more conditioned, and I think conditioning really wins shows, and from the back. Your back is just, there's so many levels to it.
From my back and everything else, and then some of the dense size and everything else came from powerlifting, from the bench press, and then the 700 bench press, and then the deadlifts. But I mean, when you sit there and you compare myself to the rest of them, it's like apples and oranges, for real. I mean, I never see myself at my best. So it's not trying to brag or sit there and say, oh, here comes me, I'm doing this and that. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. This is my best that I'm bringing to the stage. And I hate to say it, if you're training for the Tampa Pro Show, you're going to lose. I'm going to beat you. And that's just the bottom line, because I'm training to win the show. I'm not sitting here to get more likes on Instagram. I'm not trying to do this. I set out in 2007, when I turned pro, to become Mr. Olympia. Oh, well, I'm not going to become Mr. Olympia in the Open. The 212s is right there.
Right.
Flex Lewis, even if he was to compete, yes, he's big and everything else, but that's it. He doesn't have definition and everything else that I see that I have. Right. And when you sit there and you put me together, I'm like a bodybuilder and a classic physique guy together.
Right.
With the old school and the new school at 212. So with the small waistline, the V-taper, and everything else, I'm what bodybuilding is supposed to be, the definition.
Right.
Ben White.
Right. We're supposed to be, there's a lot of things, and I think a lot of people, like you said, have sacrificed it, like, for size. Like we look at, I mean, the era that you came in through was like the Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman era when you started, right?
Correct.
That was the big
Lifting
thing.
the heavyweights, yes.
The heavyweights and being 300 plus pounds, and then trying to shrink down. And I think I didn't necessarily. I thought it was freaky as hell, like looking at Jay Cutler's legs in the 2009 Olympia and stuff like that. But I just didn't think it was like, it wasn't that stream. It wasn't that Flex Lewis, the streamlined
Flex Wheeler. Like if I sit there and
or
look at
Flex
all the
Wheeler. Flex Wheeler, sorry.
Flex Wheeler is the one. Sean Ray, Labrada, Gasparian. I mean, these guys. I mean, Arnold for some reason, some ways, but these guys. I mean, that's the look I'm going for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going for just being big and swole and can't move and everything else. It's aesthetics. It's something that can be achieved. I mean, anybody can achieve.
Right. Who's someone you looked up when you came into bodybuilding?
Everybody knew it. There's Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno. I mean, we all wanted to turn green to get big. I mean, before Conan was out there, it was Lou Ferrigno.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, Lou Ferrigno. It was amazing to see what he did, and then just to take the time off and to go into acting, and then try and come back in his later career, which wasn't as good. I mean, we didn't see because Lou Ferrigno was really like kind of like in my eyes one of the first like kind of mass monsters. Like he was like 6'2",
6'3",
something like that, and he was
I don't like be politically wrong, and then you be like,
yeah, right. I mean, who cares? I mean, fucking an inch, sorry, but. But like he was like 270 or something ish on stage and just looked crazy.
I mean, but they're just like you sat there and said, that's the times of bodybuilder. I mean, bodybuilder as things go on and time go on, you evolve, and from where they were, from big upper bodies and no legs to being big all over, now it's just getting it dialed in. It's taking the good and the bad with it and just putting it together.
So
I would say good and bad. I say the old and the new.
The old and the new. But you favor more of the old.
I favor both of them because I have the size of the open, but I also have the body shape of a classic guy. So I mean, I got both of them.
Right. I think. What was I gonna say? I wanted to ask about your like powerlifting days. Like, when did you start that in like high school?
I started powerlifting with the Ebony Barbell Club in Henderson, North Carolina, with LW, Bobby. Jones, Lewis Brody, Ralph Peace, rest in peace, which was the coach, and Martha, which was Fly, that he always said used to land on the bar once we couldn't get the weight. He was like, Martha must have landed on the bar because you can't get it off your chest. But, I mean, we started at the Ebony Barbell Club, and I just took it from there. Took an interest in it. I figured that I was strong and everything else. Found out I was strong, I figured. And it just escalated. It just kept going after winning and winning and winning and winning until the point where I came up here and I got into contests and started winning, hit 700 with the Albany Barbell Club, Art Eastman, John Payat, they helped me. 700, 711 bench press, 700 deadlift, and that was like the highlight. Yeah. I mean, everybody has a highlight in their life, and that was my highlight. It was benching 700 and deadlifting 700. If I say I didn't do nothing else in life, that's what I did.
Right. I mean, you also got first in the over 2007 NPC super heavyweight. I mean, you got first in that.
That's the bodybuilding aspect of it. I mean, when you sit there and powerlifting,
you like powerlifting more than bodybuilding?
No, powerlifting. My highlight was the 700 and actually the 505 for 9 reps. I think that was my highlight. And then just benching over 700, being a guy that can actually do it at 275. And then bodybuilding, I mean, that was something different. 2007, I turned pro. I was the only one in New York State to ever win the USAs. Back then, it was giving out one pro card.
Right.
And I beat 300 and some people to get my pro card. And not only did I do that, I won Tampa. I got third place at another show, traveled. So I can sit there and say that was the precursor to what's about to happen. Because it showed me everything. I've been on the Olympia stage. I've been the Tampa Pro champion. I've been in stuff before, but it was the wrong time.
Right.
This is the right time, and 7 weeks, we're going to see.
Yeah, we are. Do you like the evolution that you've seen in bodybuilding from what we saw in the early 2000s to what we have now with all these options in the classes?
I really wasn't paying attention to it because once I got hurt and everything else, I mean, I was like, oh shit, I'm never going to compete again. And it's basically everybody goes through that dark period, and I was like depressed period where you just got to figure out stuff. And I had to dig down deep and figure out that I had to get rid of a lot of people. I had to do certain things, and I had to align myself. And once I got that balance back, everything happened and it's going like it's supposed to.
Well, it looks like it's going like it's supposed to. I mean, I've rarely seen some bodybuilders with shredded traps, like with the striations in the traps while you're doing pull. I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Right, but that's just like I said there said. I listened to my coach.
Right.
Blue Nation, Blueprint. I sit there and I believe in them. That's the whole thing. And to have somebody believe in what you believe in, that's mind blowing because people just say stuff like, "Yeah, I believe you can do it." This and that. Look, I'm 43. I'll be 43 this year. 42 now. I will be 43.
Right.
If I couldn't do it, tell me that. I don't need to waste my time. I can focus back on my dogs and cooking.
Right.
And my training. I ain't got to sit there and try to go to the gym and put everybody like I got to eat this way and just do unnecessary stuff. So he said that he wants a champion, and I told him I could be that champion. And look at me. I mean, 7 weeks out. I mean, it's right in front of you, and I'm documenting it. And it's not like I'm sitting there making it up. I'm documenting this in front of you, and whether you want to believe it or not, it's up to you.
I don't think a lot of people are going to see you coming either. That's why I think you got the advantage there.
That's their problem. I mean,
yeah, no,
it's more entertaining for me.
Right. So you won the Tampa Pro back in 2010. Would you say that was a deep lineup?
To me, it was. I mean, to any lineup in bodybuilding, to win it overall, that means on that day you were the best at that time.
Right.
And that was the best that I physically could do at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's different. I'm taking it all away. I mean, like I said there and said, I want to become Mr. Olympia. Right. I'm training like Mr. Olympia. I'm eating like Mr. Olympia. I'm sleeping like Mr. Olympia. I'm doing what a Mr. Olympia would do. I don't smoke cigarettes no more. I don't smoke Black and Milds no more. I don't drink no more. I mean, I don't cheat no more on my meals and everything else. I do what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
And when you do what you're supposed to do, you get the results that you're paying for.
So do you think your training style has changed from your win from 2010 on the Tampa Throw to your Tampa Pro training now?
Everything's changed.
Everything's changed?
Everything changed. It's not just about lifting heavy weights. It's about being functional. It's about doing plyometric. It's about doing isometric exercises. It's about the whole thing. You have to be well-rounded, not just one-dimensional and one view of it. You got to stretch. It's every part of it. The massages, the stones, the cupping, all of that stuff goes with it. If you're not willing to sacrifice and do all of that, you can say you're a bodybuilder all day long. And that's all you're going to be. But you're not going to be champion. You're not going to be none of the rest of it. You're going to just be a bodybuilder.
Right.
And I don't want to just be a bodybuilder footstep for somebody else to step over me to get to the championship. I want to be the champion. It's not a have. It's not a need. It's a want. I need this. I want this. And I told them I'm going to do this. And
I mean, the proof is that you've done it before. And you're going back to do it again, and that's the stats right there. You're more likely to repeat now. You're older, muscle maturity, dense as a motherfucker already. You look like you could step on stage tomorrow if you started depleting.
But that's the whole point. I want to be able to walk into the show. I'm not stressed out. I'm not doing 3 hours of cardio like I used to do before. I'm following directions. That's the hardest thing for a person to do is follow directions. I could sit here and tell you to do something right now, and you still won't do it. Because in our head, we are designated not to listen. Because we think we know everything. So when you become the student and you actually learn, and I'm learning, you get the results. It's not hard.
Yeah, I mean, you look like you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. What are we on at time? I don't want to hold you too long. I know you have your meals to take in, and we gotta eat your meals because you gotta win this show. You know, we don't.
Yeah,
this podcast doesn't want to be the reason you lose a show. So.
No, it won't be no reason.
No, there isn't.
It's like I said, though, when you compete and everything else, you ain't as better as you was the last time you was out on stage.
Right.
And if you look at my last pictures and you look at any pictures that I ever stepped on stage, I have never looked like this.
Right.
So therefore, I'm winning. So therefore, I can't say that to the next person. If they put their picture up, do they look better than the last time they was on stage? Have you ever competed against me? Do you know what you look like against me? Everybody look good by themselves.
Right.
But when you stand on stage and my waistline is 24 inches, and I'm 5'7", and I'm 225 pounds, 230, feel full back up, what you gonna do? The king is here.
Let them know, man.
They're already gonna know. Once I'm carb depleted. I've been carb depleting for the last 4 weeks. This is all carb depleting.
Jesus.
Once I fill back up, it's gonna be murder rap. So I mean, if I look like this carb depleted, what am I gonna look like filled up?
Right. You're gonna look massive.
And I got 7 more weeks.
7 more weeks. Seems those for the show. It seems like it goes fast.
It started when we started this. We started like nine months ago.
Yeah, 39 weeks or something like that.
And as we started counting down and everything else, it got interesting because she's never been around this stuff before. Period. So for her to see something and the transformation and everything else, when she met me, she didn't know bodybuilding even existed. She just thought people lift weights, and that was just the end of it. It was no such thing as bodybuilding or making money from being a professional, nothing.
Right.
So for her to see me going from all my adversity to here, it's crazy. Because you don't see that. Most people would have gave up, did this and that, but I mean, like I said, you live once. I want to leave a footprint, something here on earth when I'm gone to say I was here. Besides, he set a record, he did this and that. This is what I did to impact people.
Right.
Whether you listen or not, it's up to you.
You're also on record of being like one of the strongest bodybuilders out there, right?
Yep.
That's an impressive title to hold. I mean considering who else has held that title.
I mean, when you sit, just like I said before, when you sit there and say world's strongest bodybuilder, it's as far as the deadlift, I think Stan Efron might have got it or Johnny Jackson might have got it. But as far as the bench press, I got it. Can't nobody bench over 700. Ain't nobody ever benched over 700. So, yeah, I hold that record, and I will always hold that record. But that still is not impressive. Impressive is starting something and finishing it. The whole reason for me to get this IFBB card was to become Mr. Olympia.
Right.
So until I did that, then I still haven't accomplished what I set out to do. I got sidetracked.
Right.
And now I'm back on track, and we're about to see what happens.
So you also have three guests in the studio. You have your girlfriend here, and you have these two massive, I don't know if you want to call them bears, tigers, lions, but they're two massive dogs, Simba and Copper. Copper, if ladies and gentlemen you can see, I'm sure you can on camera, is the one laying against the door. And Simba is the one sitting over there. The camera does, honestly, when I see them on Instagram, does not do them justice. I'm like, they're big.
None of us justice.
It's they're big dogs. I was like, I've seen big dogs. I have a big dog. My dog's 90 pounds. No, these dogs are absolutely huge.
Right, but what you're talking about, they're only 23 months old, and both of them are 200 pounds. He's 200. And he's a little 205 somewhere in there.
And you said they have another 100 to gain?
They don't gain another 100 pounds. They don't stop growing until they get like 4 years old. So their head haven't even popped like fully yet.
So your other passion is training dogs, right?
Correct.
And you've been doing that for how long?
For about 4 years now. Yeah, about 4 years. Just like
kind of on the professional level, but
it's you can say now on a professional level, but in the beginning, it was me and my dog. When people say your dog got your back, it was true. My dog got my back. Yeah, but it's you have to understand the aspect of what a dog is. A dog is a carnivore. Once you understand that a dog is a carnivore and it's pack order and pack leadership, and if you don't have that in your life, then your dog probably is not going to listen to you.
Any dog?
Any dog. No, they're not going to listen. It has to be order. Dogs listen under order. When it's chaos and dysfunction in a family, it shows through the animal.
So those yappy fucking Chihuahuas or
Look at the people.
and the pit bulls that don't have a good name. I got someone over there that with a fucking pit bull
Right,
that's
but
just
that's what I'm
rabbit
saying,
on
though.
the chain.
Right, but
'Cause
that's what I'm saying though. How is the owner?
listen, obviously not good because I mean my dog
And then,
doesn't do
like
that.
I said there and said before, for our entertainment is their imprisonment. We get animals and we keep them prisoner, and it's crazy because you shouldn't get an animal if you're going to put it in cages and you're going to keep chains on it and you're going to do all this stuff. For what? Why are you going to rescue something and then lock it back up? An animal is to spend time with it. Most people don't even understand that dogs eat raw food. Dogs don't eat commercial food. Commercial food is what pays the vet bills. The vets get the dog sick, and you sit there and spend the money, and then the vet give you money. They eventually gonna kill your dog, and that's how the cycle go. Dog food is killing your dog. It has chemicals in it. These dogs have babies just like we do.
Right.
If you smoke crack, if I smoke crack, we have babies. They're gonna be crack babies.
Mm-hmm.
If you're constantly giving your dog all these chemicals and all this, God knows what's in it, fillers, what do you think gonna happen to the dog?
It's gonna get sick.
And it's gonna die. It's common sense. People ain't got common sense. They rather go spend all that money on this food when you're paying by the pound. Chicken is cheap, 69, 89 cents a pound.
Mm-hmm.
You're spending all that money for what? Dogs, do they eat bones? They have teeth. They're carnivores. They're
Right.
not a person. They're not your family member. They are dogs. They have jobs.
So when people tell you that the dog's gonna choke on a chicken bone, does that infuriate you?
It doesn't infuriate me. It just makes me realize that they're stupid as shit. Because that's all it is, though. I mean, it's stupidity because they have an iPhone and they know everything else, but they can't sit there and tell you that this is what dogs do. They're lazy as hell. Do you want to sit there and go get the same shit and give your dog each day the same shit over and over? Do you eat the same shit? You have a heart, they have a heart, they have lungs, you have lungs, they have kidneys, you have kidneys. Why don't you eat the same shit every day?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. I do get pissed off because that's animal cruelty to our dog.
Mm-hmm.
Giving it the same stuff over and over and over and over and expecting a different result. That's crazy.
So what are some basic things that people can some advice that maybe you can give some people that are willing to try different things?
It's not willing to try. It's only one way to do it. Just feed your dog raw.
Raw everything, chicken, pork, meats.
That's what dogs eat. Dogs eat raw food. That's what carnivores eat. Raw food.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Feed them raw every other day, and that's it. They don't eat every single day. They eat every other day. They eat at night. They
That's
sleep during the daytime.
That's interesting. I didn't even think about it like that.
But people don't because they're so trained to what their vet says.
Right.
The vet is only there to help your dog if they break their leg or they do something like that. Vets do not give you nutritional guidance.
Right.
How? That's what I'm saying. How are you going to sit there and tell me that my dogs are not healthy when they've never been to the vet? They went to the vet when they were first born to make sure they was all right. After that, I gave them their own shots. So they didn't need to go back to the vet. I gave Saratoga some money and for the rabies shot. That was it. So why would I need to go spend all that money at a vet office for? They need to make money.
Right. It's a
So
business.
in order to make money, that's what they do. Your dog's gonna get sick from chemicals, just like people get sick from chemicals, and the hospital sell you drugs.
Yeah. And a lot of hospitals, some things they don't even say is just like change your diet.
Right, but why would they tell you something?
Because that would take money away from them.
It's all about making money.
Of course.
And it's making money off the ignorant.
Mm.
Because smart people aren't gonna do it. Why would I put my dogs in cages? You see how big they are.
Yeah,
What human would put a dog like this in a cage? My dog's not running around your studio, tearing your studio up because they train. They know what to do.
Right.
When you spend time with something and you invest time in it, this is the result you get. When you sit there and spend no time with it, you see it.
Yeah.
You seen it. We was outside. And you seen the dog jump out the window and everything else. And I mean, that was crazy.
That was crazy. That's
And
crazy.
we're sitting in the car watching it, and I'm like, that's nonsense. The dog has anxiety. The dog has no. The dog is not controlled. It's no leadership in there. That dog should be jumping out of the car window. My dogs ride everywhere with the window rolled down. They don't jump out.
Your dog's excellent, man. Excellent.
They're not excellent. They're hard headed as hell like anything else. But I have to stay on top of them. I have to be that one to sit there and say, look, you're not doing this.
Right. Yep.
I mean, it's simple in life. I only know 3 things. I know a lot of other stuff. If you want me, this is what I bring to the table. I'm real. I'm laying my cards out. This is what I bring to the table. What do you bring to enhance me? If I don't bring nothing to enhance you and you don't bring nothing to enhance me, why are we sitting here talking?
Right.
I don't need to waste your time. You don't need to waste my time. You can do your own thing.
So what is the third thing that you're good
Cooking.
at? I see.
And just like I said, I cook my food at home. We don't eat out.
Right.
Why would I eat out at a restaurant that everybody eating the same food?
Mm-hmm.
Do they know that that's a cafeteria? It's called a cafeteria. It's not a restaurant. It's a cafeteria. Do anybody in here know what a cafeteria is? Mm-hmm. In a cafeteria, can I get the same thing you get? But if I cook at home, I guarantee you my steak ain't going to taste like your steak.
You cook it the way you want it.
There you go.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Steak.
Steak.
Yep, steak. God knows steak. Oh, God.
Can't go wrong with that.
Oh, can't go wrong with that. Medium rare.
On cast iron. I see you have that
Cast
hashtag cast iron. I got like 6 cast iron dishes upstairs, all seasoned. We got all the time putting oil, burning the oil off, putting it again.
You do it just like I do. I got
Mm.
all of it.
Yeah, man. You gotta keep that. People are like, oh, things stick to cast iron. It's like
They cook too high on the heat. That's
yeah.
why.
And it took a while because I did it all the time. I literally burned. My mom would say, "Oh, you're cooking," because I can smell something burning. Because I just didn't know how to cook with cast iron. Because I was like, just crank it up to make it hot. And it was
once you hit medium or like medium low high somewhere in there,
mm-hmm.
it's gonna cook your food normal, and you can just use it like a non-stick pan,
mm-hmm.
and it's better to use. That's the whole thing. It's just like if you gonna buy paper plates, because we're big. I mean, we waste paper plates like that. You may as well buy dishes. Mm-hmm. Because the amount of money that you're going to spend on them paper plates and the constant buying them, if you add them up for a whole year, you're going to be in and buy some cheap dishes.
Right.
But we'll still buy the paper plates. See, that's what I'm trying to get myself better at.
Mm-hmm.
Make a smarter decision. Whether you want to live your life the way you want to, that's up to you. That's up to people. I mean, you only live once. So like I said, that's you. You can't change you. Only you can.
Yeah, it's just good seeing that you had gone through this dark time because you had like kind of just like went off the radar kind of for bodybuilding. But you've taken those life lessons and you've made it through here to like when you're coming back to the pro stage, and that's what's impressive because it takes a lot to like be brave enough to like take another chance at it, right? Because you go through these dark times and you're just like, do I have another one in me? Even as we get older, I mean, it's in different stages. Like I wouldn't say I've had a hard life comparatively, but I've gone through some shit at a young age to where it's like, damn, I've had it hard. And then you got to look at it like, I mean, it sucked. Yeah. But I mean, you got to take those lessons and move forward with it and have confidence in yourself. But it takes a while to get back to where you've gotten now to the point where you're just like, we're here. Getting back to the Tampa Pro stage and the Olympia next.
Right. But this time it's like, I feel validated.
You feel validated coming back?
If that's the word, or I feel, I think it's not validated. I feel more appreciated. Yeah. I feel more appreciative of the opportunity that I'm able to get because of all the adversities that I went through. Because I look at it like she was with me. I said, I'm going to stop smoking Black & Miles. And I just stopped. I said, look, can't drink no more. Stop drinking. Just stop drinking coffee. I mean, just to stop out of the blue, and then you see commercials saying, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, and everything else. And for somebody just to be able to stop and say, look, your brain is stronger than you realize, and if you really want to do something, it's you. It really is, because you can make all the excuses in the world, but at the end of the day, it's you. You're telling the story the way you want to tell it instead of telling the story the way it's supposed to be told. And I'm not leaving. It is what it is. This is what happened. And this is where I'm at. And I wouldn't take none of it. I wouldn't take none of it back. I'm glad that everything happened. That's the thing about it. Most people are like, no, I'm glad everything happened. Because if it wasn't happening, I wouldn't be here.
Should have silenced my phone before this.
That's the cool thing about it. It's like I don't look at life as being, oh, it's hard, oh, I'm just doing this, because you're like a worker ant, easily replaced. You're not doing nothing with life anyway. I'm trying to do something with life. It's not about having millions and millions of dollars. If I have millions and millions of dollars, yeah, I can do what I want to do. But it's about living. And most people don't live. They just exist.
So you're enjoying what you're doing.
I'm 42, and I mean,
Doing what you love, yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing. Outside of me looking like the way I do, I mean, I don't look aged.
No, you don't.
And that's, like I said,
We're just letting you know you're at 30.
that's the best part of it, because it shows you that you're doing something right in life. When you're able to take them years back and say, wow, even though I went through all that hell, I still look like I'm in my 30s. It's like that's what make me like get pumped up and everything else, because I'm like, I learned my lesson, the Bible, basic instruction before leaving Earth. I understand it. I know it's everything's tribal and people gonna go this way and that way. You have to decipher what's real and what's not. And most people just like when they get gym memberships, they're never gonna use them. They just get them. They just want to go have something. They want to impress people with houses and cars, this and that. I want to impress people with health, cooking, and their dogs. Two different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, but I mean, these are the things that make you happy, and it's good to see people attacking what makes them happy, because I think it makes the world a better place.
Because you know what you're getting. If you sit there and you say, I need help with my dog, or I need help with cooking, or I need help with training, look, I do results. I give results. Let me see my phone. Like I said, if you sit there and look, this right here, if they can see this picture, this was her.
How long ago?
4 years ago, but it took 7 months to get her down to 111 pounds. But this was her.
Hard work?
Yes, hard work.
But when you sit there and you look at that, and you look at her stomach and everything else, she doesn't have the loose skin on her body. She doesn't have the wrinkled stomach and all the rest of it, because she ate food. She didn't starve herself. She didn't do all this cardio. She didn't not eat. I mean, people do a lot of crazy stuff that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I think a lot of the.
I don't. It's like you're gonna pay somebody to tell you to drink water, when you sit there and know that you need protein and carbohydrate because you want to be part of this tribe or part of this group of people that don't eat meat. If you didn't eat meat, you supposed to, horses, they go sideways. I don't see you chewing grass sideways. You chomping down on it.
Yeah.
If you were supposed to eat just grass, you would go sideways. That's what they do. They I forgot what they call it. Grind.
Yeah.
So you're not grinding, you're chewing. So this is something that you want to do.
People like to make up think that I don't know. I don't like to. It's so weird. It's like it's evolution. These are things that we've been designed to do, and we can prove it through just animal species. Like monkeys had these traits. We came from this kind of species. We've evolved to this. We have canines. We have molars. Like we were meant to eat different types of food.
Correct.
Including meat.
Right, but when you sit there and you exclude yourself and say you're different, that makes you special.
Yeah.
So these people feel special. Well, so I mean that's what I'm sitting there saying. Everybody's tribal, and maybe I'm tribal for what I do, but
I think to an extent probably. I think we all are. I do understand the people that do it for themselves, for the mindset of I think I'm doing something good. I think those people are good people who are just like, I'm going vegan because I feel that at this point the factory farming and the way things are being raised isn't right, so I'm going to refrain from eating because that's their personal choice. But I like that. I don't like the people who are tribal and like.
Hang on. But if you sit there and you say that about a vegan, then what? If you sit there and say, well, you're not going to eat meat and this and that, how the vegetables are grown, how the drinks are grown. If you're vegan, you eat chocolate. Mm-hmm. Most vegans eat a lot of chocolate. They all the chemicals and stuff that's in the chocolate. They don't say nothing when they eat them chocolate bars and all this other stuff.
or how many animals are
right,
killed
right.
harvesting.
So when I sit there and when people say that, it's always contradicting the other side of it.
Somewhat, yeah. I agree.
It's lifestyle. Your lifestyle reflects you.
Yeah.
If you want a healthier lifestyle, you will eat better. If you don't want a healthier lifestyle, I mean, it's not hard to get fat.
No, it's not.
It takes a lot to stay in shape.
You got to get a coach to stay in shape.
No, you really don't need a coach. It's you, because if you don't want to change, it's no need to hire me, because I can't make you do something that you don't want to do.
Right.
And that's why I sit there and tell people, if I'm going to help you, you got to be willing to help yourself and see the same thing that I see.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't see it, then how can I see it? I can't want something for you and then you don't want it.
Exactly. You can bring a horse to water, can't make it drink.
So,
It seems like everything what we were taught as kids just like somehow falls into the further part in your lives, and it just like
it does.
It's crazy. I had a kid young, so I'm 24, but when I say these things to my son, I'm like, God damn, I sound like my fucking parents.
But I mean, that's what you want. All the thing you want your kids to do is just to be better than yours. I mean, mine are West Virginia and North Carolina State University.
Oh,
so I mean,
congratulations.
I want them better than me. I never went to college. I'm glad they're in college. I hope they do way better than me. I just want to be able to leave a footstep for them to get up one more than I had when my parents had me.
Yeah, and I think I think that's inherently, because like when you have kids, my parents said that I just want you to be better than me, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I didn't understand that. Like, wouldn't you want yourself to be better?
Right, but I never had my family never said, my parents never told me they wanted me better than me. They had me be just like them. So therefore, I started at the same playing field. They started at zero.
Right.
So therefore, I want to give my kids a good playing field and everything else. So therefore, for my sacrifice and everything else, here I am doing what I need to do to help them out and everything else. So my future and everything else that we're doing go. So it all works together.
It does.
All works together.
All right, man. Well, we're over 30. I don't know if you want to keep going.
Oh,
Good. Yeah, I know. Well, like I said, he needs to get his meals in, because we got the Tampa Pro 7 T-minus.
August 1st through the 4th. Tampa, Florida. Follow me on IFBB Pro Ben White on Instagram. Same thing on Facebook. Like I said, I'll become New York's first, upstate New York first Mr. Olympia, if everything goes right for September. But before September gets here and the Mr. Olympia gets here, it's the Tampa Pro, and that's, like I said, is August 1st through the 4th, and I'm 7 weeks out, and I'm currently 224 pounds, and I have 12 pounds left, and that's probably about it.
All right, man. Well, you said you were gonna come back, so we're gonna see you.
Definitely be back.
We'll probably see you after your victory. You can bring the trophy.
No, I'll be back.
Smack it down right in the middle of the table.
Or 2 weeks prior.
Okay, we could do that too.
We do 2 weeks prior to hype it up a little bit more.
All right, man. Thanks for stopping by. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.